Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to your weekly dose of celestial goodness. As always, thank you for joining me in this space and on this journey. I truly appreciate it. So, last week, I shared travel tidbits and tales from Greenville, South Carolina. Now, this past week was a very busy one for me, which is not surprising. I'm usually busy doing something, and I do enjoy that. However, there are weeks like this past one in which I found myself overthinking a lot of things. I thought about things that I had to do, things that I didn't do, that I wanted to do, or had hoped to have done by now, and people that I hadn't thought about in a while. Everything was just like popping up in my mind. Also thought about other people's problems, and as someone wise pointed out, you are trying to solve the problems of the world. Oh heavens. One of the good things though is having people who care enough to tell you when you're going down that road, is that then they remind you to come back to the present moment. Through years of working on my own stuff, I have developed many different coping mechanisms and methods for bringing me back to center and for coming back to the present moment. I am thankful for that. I learned a long time ago that overthinking is one of those byproducts of either being too far into the future or too far in the past, and that staying in either one of those places is no bueno. So, unsurprisingly, by the time Friday rolled around, I was just mentally tired from keeping up with my regular work, adulting, primarily what am I going to have for dinner every single day, and cooking, and just thinking about life in its entirety. I also started to beat myself up a little bit about all of this, and then after a very delicious nap, that was really what I needed, to just offer myself a little bit of grace. Grace can mean many things to many different people, and depending on your level of religion or spirituality, it may have a specific meaning. When I'm talking about offering myself grace, I find that I'm offering myself some kindness and some compassion and some peace. I'm giving myself a pep talk. And it's a very simple one that just says, it's okay. Right here in this moment, you are doing your best, trying your best. And sometimes that doesn't mean there won't be issues. It does mean that if you rest and give yourself some grace, you can approach whatever needs doing from a more focused place. I also have a card deck by Cheryl Richardson called the Grace Cards. And sometimes when I'm feeling like how I felt this past week, I will sit somewhere quiet, try to quiet my mind a bit, and have a conversation with the divine. It's not necessarily a prayer, more like a conversation. I speak and then listen intuitively to how my body feels, and if I sense anything that would represent a response. Speaking of my body, checking in with myself and listening to my body has been so helpful just on my life journey. A quick way that you can do this is to lay down or sit up very straight. You want your spine to be straight. Close your eyes, and starting at the top of your head, pretend you have a scanning wand. In my case, it would be selenite. And then go from your head to your toes. Scan slowly and see if there are any places that feel tension, tiredness, or where you think you might be holding on too much to something. Also, check to see how you're breathing. And give yourself the gift of a deep, slow, and loving inhale and exhale. I generally hold stress and or tension in my upper back and shoulder area. If you found any places on your scan that feel tense, I want you to mentally visualize massaging that area. Also, send that place some loving energy. You can literally say, I am sending my shoulders loving energy for all the things that it carries. I can also say thank you to my body because it does so much for me. Sometimes it's very easy to take for granted what works well because we expect it to work well. We don't realize, for example, how much our bodies are doing for us until something is not working right. In this small way, I offer my body some grace. So on the Grace card deck, Richardson says, there's a benevolent force of energy available to guide your life, and it always has your best interest at heart. This energy is grace. When you open yourself up to its influence, you'll begin to see the signs, symbols, and messages that are placed in your path to lead you in the right direction. I may pull 1, 2, or 3 of these cards depending on what I'm guided to pull in that moment. Recently, I pulled 2 cards and asked, what is it that I need to know right now, or offer myself grace in a specific area? And that was at the end of the week. The first card was peace. The back of the card said, when we balance silence with activity, we discover true peace of mind, the source of all joy and happiness. The second card was chance. It said, take the leap. Divine protection is always by our side. Now these really spoke to me, and I ended up taking a solo walk of 5 miles, and in that time, I let my mind wander freely, and I came to a place of peace with some of the things that I had, I'm sure, been overthinking. I also took a very long nap after that, and really, that was probably some of what I needed, both my body and my mind. For the other card, that one really spoke to me as well. There are a few things that I really want to do, like dreams, goals, and just musings from my vision board. And for some of the things, I know that the only thing stopping me is that I haven't actually taken the leap. This was just a reminder that it's never too late to pursue a dream. Sometimes we need the time before something happens to build in either experience or in training, but we can't stay in the cocoon too long. I also like to remind my own loved ones that if they try something and failed, it really is a more valuable experience than never having tried at all. And I definitely have to take my own advice. So this week is as much a pep talk for you as it is for me. And I know so many of you have things that you're thinking about doing, things you might be overthinking, problems that need solving, all of these things that just feel like it needs to be done. And I would say this, offer yourself some grace this week. Rest as you need, and then get up and take even one small action in the direction of what needs being done, what needs being said, or what needs releasing. I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Grace deck and just allow whatever resonates with you to resonate. Take that into the week with you. The amazing thing about life and about everything being connected in some way is that no matter when you're reading the blog or seeing this video, adding your desire to have an appropriate message come will result in that happening. So thank you in advance as well for contributing to our collective grace. So to the divine, I ask that these cards provide a clear message and guidance for whoever needs it. Let this be a reminder of love, protection, beauty, and grace that is all around us, no matter how the world seems to be. Let us be reminded as well of our role in helping the world to be a better place for everyone. Thank you. So the first card that came up after I said this was direction. Its message was, look for clues. Grace will lead us to the exact events and experiences we need at precisely the right time. The second card said, listen. And its message was, when we feel overly attached to an outcome, it's simply an indication that we need to reconnect with our wise self. And the third card said support. And its message was, expect help. A divine power more magnificent than anything else that exists on the planet is ready to support our every move. I think this message is pretty clear. There are things churning in the cosmos, stars that are aligning for us, and places where we need to be, and people who we will need to meet. All of these experiences lead us closer to the things that we desire for our life. But we do need to listen. And this is the type of listening that requires a connection with ourself. That's what I'm talking about. It's the kind of listening that requires us to soul listen, to tune into the wisdom that is inherent in all of us, should we choose to embrace it. Finally, we're always supported, divinely supported, even when we forget, even when it doesn't appear to be the case. And I think this is a reminder to stay in the flow of life. So, that is my message for you this week. If you can take a few moments to check in with yourself, to see what your mind, body, and soul need from you right now, please do that. Please remember that for all the things that you want to solve in the world and for other people, and that solving, everybody's stuff, that charity begins at home, and home is you. You too need rest and love and reminders that the present moment is truly a gift. We cannot change the past, so don't become a prisoner to it. Learn what needed to be learned and move on wiser and more focused. Don't spend too much time in the future either, because the present moment is what creates the future, and this is the moment that needs your energy the most. So take care of yourself and offer yourself some grace this week. And may the stars shine brightly over your week, and may it be a divinely inspired one. If you are enjoying these videos and blog, please continue to like, share, comment, and please do subscribe to both the blog and the channel. We're almost 1 year old, so thank you so much for your support and encouragement and for trusting me with your time. I appreciate it.